You know, I don't necessarily think that Anthony is a great filmmaker. I'm an honest guy. He is not a great filmmaker. As a matter of fact, he's not a good filmmaker. But the information within inside of his films, if you want to call them that, I think they're more documentaries that are kind of done in a guerrilla style, or sometimes very dramatic, you know, over dramatic sometimes, to create sort of like this. To create this sort of terror syndrome, you know, and this is one of the problems that I've been trying to talk about my fellow brothers in the movement and the research of the Illuminati, that in my opinion needs to be kind of toned down a bit. Is what it does is it creates almost like an anti-truth, or like this anti-information wheel spinning towards the public, whereby they look and they say, oh, there's another one of those nuts or fruitcakes talking about the Illuminati again. See, I think it's a little bit more serious than that. And you know, Anthony's my friend, and I know the information he's talking about is dear and serious for us to, and he's the founding member of, or one of the founding members of this movement. But if the truth be known, I will tell the truth, and I would like to say that we have to find a more serious way of implementing this information to the public. What it's causing, just like it is with Alex Jones and Anthony and so many of the other guys in the movement, David Icke and the rest of these guys, is it's causing people to almost get a spin effect off of this information. It's like, oh, there's those Illuminati characters, you know, this drama that Anthony uses. It's quite interesting for showmanship, but in reality, I mean, there needs to be a very serious tone directed towards the information that is given to the public. The public needs to be. We need, you know, filmmakers that have talent, that understand how to implement films, need to be the ones utilizing information from geniuses like Mr. Hilder. And he is. He's a genius when it comes to the information. But when it comes to the implementation of the films, it has to be done by people who know how to make films, whereby it creates a serious outlook and a serious understanding to people who want to know more about this. And first of all, most people don't even think this is real. You know, they think it's insanity. You know, they think it's, back when I was talking about it early in the 1990s on movie sets, $40 million movie sets, I'd have people surrounding me and I would talk to them about the information I knew about the back of the dollar bill, the pyramid, the all-seeing eye, what it meant, the hidden agenda and within the dollar bill, and all the rest of the secret society symbols all over the place, and some of which I wanted to utilize in my movies, but didn't at that point because I didn't know. I didn't myself know, was it real? I knew that there had to be some aspects of it that were real, like Anthony spoke about, and one of the best things I've ever heard from Anthony was the thing that Myron Fagan made that Anthony actually produced. Anthony's a great producer. He believes in the movement. And as I said, I don't think he's a great filmmaker, but I think he's a brilliant guy who has a lot of information that he's tried to get out there. And now it's time for the people like us who know how to make films to help him implement this brilliant information. And I really believe that they care and want to get this information out. But the problem with some of the movement is that people are taking their egos. They're taking their egos and they're setting up shop. The problem that's happening in the movement is this. You have a great, vast amount of information that needs to get out. whether it's movies, TV, whether it's radio, whether it's, you know, whatever program it may be to get, you know, let me say that again. Anyway, so I think the problem with the movement is there needs to be, you know, some sort of organization that's not there now. And I think if I was an outsider, being that I'm a filmmaker that has actually been inside the real Hollywood aspect of filmmaking, I know what you need to do to implement and create a situation whereby people take this serious. Because this is beyond movies to me. This is beyond the ego to me. This is a very, if in fact it is real, if in fact all the things I talked about on movie sets, whereby I was told not to speak about them anymore early on, and I was told if I spoke about them that I would not be allowed to be on the sets anymore, and I slowly started to get blackballed because of the information I was getting out to people. And what happens is you start asking yourself, wait a minute, at the beginning I was talking about the secret societies, Illuminati, showing people information. And, you know, you would have people say, people would say, this is crazy, you know, this is a conspiratorial crackpot bullshit, you know, this is that. And you find yourself asking yourself, why, then am I not allowed to talk about it if it's so harmless? If it's harmless and it's just a conspiratorial view that really is meaningless and it doesn't meet them, why did so many people get upset early on that were very important people in my career, specifically people that had a lot of control of the media? And I'm talking very, very important, quote unquote, important. The hierarchy of Hollywood. I mean, we'd have talks and we'd have meetings, and I would discuss these matters and ask them what they thought, and, you know, talk to them about what I saw with the symbols that I'd learned about, whether it be stuff I learned from Anthony or others, because I learned a lot on my own and with others also. Anthony was the beginning of my process as an investigator into secret societies, and as a writer and as a filmmaker that kind of implemented some of these ideologies.